Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing just kind of a fun video. Want to take a look back at the first 100 episodes of the Walking Dead television series after AMC did their 100 episodes thank you video. And if you guys have not seen this thank you video from AMC yet, I'll put the link in the description so you can go ahead and check it out. It's a pretty cool little video, just a few minutes of a bunch of the cast and crew saying thank you to all the fans for getting them to 100 episodes for the Walking Dead TV series. And I thought, why don't we take a look back at the 100 episodes and kind of give our thoughts on the series as we go through. You know, it has been a really, really long time watching the Walking Dead. It's cool to hear Chandler Riggs, who of course plays Carl, talk about, you know, how old he was when he started, and then he is now, of course, so many years having passed at this point, getting into the 8th season from where they first started, probably never having any idea the series was going to get this far. And also, the actress who plays Tara, Alana Masterson, says that she was only supposed to be on the show for 3 episodes, which is pretty cool. And also, of course, if you guys didn't know, Carol was supposed to be killed off in like the 3rd season as well. So there was, you know, there are quite a few people that are still in the cast now who, you know, weren't originally supposed to kind of have it work out that way, but I'm super glad that they did. Another example is Norman Reedus trying out for Merle, not getting it, but then getting the role of Daryl instead. And, you know, him actually being around now, and it's like, well, we're so happy, at least I am, that he didn't get the role for Merle, because had he have gotten it, he would have been killed off a long time ago. So really cool stuff. I do enjoy the video. There's some other cool little things in it, like you have Lenny James, who of course plays Morgan, saying that the fan demand was what brought him back. And so I was just thinking to myself, like, well, if he's, you know, fan demand brought him back, where the hell's Morales? You know, so, but yeah, it's a pretty cool video. You guys can check it out. It's pretty fun. And I do have some other videos coming for you guys in the next couple days. There was a new issue of The Walking Dead yesterday that was released, but I didn't get a chance to review it for you guys because I was going to the dentist. So I had to get my teeth fixed. And speaking of Merle, I got a figure review I'm going to do for you guys probably within the next couple days. It'll take a couple days to film it. It's a 3-0 Merle 1/6, so for the backdrop, so that's going to be pretty cool. So I'll be reviewing that and replacing my custom one, which sucks, with the official 3-0 one, which is really good. So heads up for those coming in the next few days. So this is the thing with The Walking Dead, especially after Season 7 right now, and kind of something that I thought about when I was watching the thank you video from them. And that is that, you know, really it's just a TV series, right? It's just a TV show, but it's not. It's more than that. I mean, you have the Walking Dead comic book series, you have all the merchandise, it's just become a worldwide phenomenon for sure, absolutely, with what it is and what it's done. I also think it's really elevated AMC as a station, as a channel, into another, you know, stratosphere, I want to say, of success compared to where they were at before. If you look at how big The Walking Dead has become, how many episodes they're doing, with even Fear, even though a lot of people don't like Fear, Fear is still one of its, you know, best shows that AMC has. It gets more ratings than majority of their other series, even now, even in its 3rd season, even though it's been struggling a bit with you know, getting pretty good ratings. But going back to 2010, so the series hits 2010, Days Gone By, the premiere episode of The Walking Dead. That's episode 1, and now we're up to episode 99, with the season 8 premiere being episode 100, which is not named yet so far as I know. All we know is that it's going to be directed by Greg Nicotero, and the stuff that we've seen in the trailer, of course. So going through the series, I think the first season, you know, was really great. You know, a lot of fun for sure to get it started. It's about the best start as far as 6 episodes go that you're probably ever going to get for a TV series. I mean, it really was great, and you know, quite the treat to see. And I was pretty surprised at this point, you know, getting to see the first season, because I actually felt like it was maybe even better than the comic book version. Now, that could have been, you know, due to the people involved, due to having Greg Nicotero involved, and you know, all the crew. You have some great writers here, of course, Robert Kirkman being involved, Glenn Mazzara, Frank Darabont, and everybody else that was involved in the first season. Casting some really good people for the roles for Walking Dead, I think, was really crucial too. Andrew Lincoln as Rick Grimes has just been, you know, absolutely perfect for the role. And, you know, without every single one of them, I don't know if the series would be at the level where it's at right now. So the first season going through 2010 was like, yeah, this is really good. This is going to be a fun show to watch. We'll have to see how many seasons it gets, what it's going to be like, and from watching this video as well too, I got the sense that a lot of the cast and crew weren't sure what it was going to be either. They didn't know at that time that The Walking Dead was going to be The Walking Dead, if you guys get what I'm saying. They had no idea. They probably just thought, okay, we're going to go do this show, and it sounds like it's going to be great. It's going to be zombie apocalypse stuff. It's something that you don't really see on TV, almost at all. There's almost no, zombie apocalypse TV series like this. A lot of the, drama shows, for example, on NBC and that kind of stuff are like crime drama and stuff where it's just this cookie cutter, and by the way, it was also pitched, Walking Dead was pitched to NBC, and that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to turn it into a cookie cutter, like series where like Bones or something, where it's like they're investigating, like Rick and Shane are detectives and they're investigating a zombie outbreak or something, and there's like a zombie each episode or something. I'm so glad that didn't happen. That would have been awful. So to do something like this out of the box for them, I'm sure they all were questioning, like, is this going to work? Are we going to be able to do this? What does this look like? Probably even questions, of course, with the second season, going in with budgetary concerns because the second season had a lower budget than the first season, and the showrunner, of course, Frank Darabont, who was involved in developing the TV series version of The Walking Dead, ended up leaving, and then you had Glenn Mazzara, who stepped in, who only lasted for a couple seasons, so definitely a lot of kind of, I want to say, uncharted territory here in the first few seasons, and just maybe, not sure, people not being sure of how this is going to go, or what's going to happen, and also the comic book hadn't been, it was always farther ahead, but we didn't know also with the comic book series if it was going to get to maybe 200 issues. Most comics, they don't get to like 100 issues with one run, with one writer and mostly one artist, maybe two artists for this, and one just really at the beginning, and the other takes over for, the long run. Of course, them not knowing. So the second season goes from episode 7 to 19. They step up the episode count, but they don't step up the budget, which causes a few of the episodes here to be a little bit not sure. First episode having some trouble as well, too, having to be reshot and being directed by two people, Gwyneth Horder-Payton and then also Ernest Dickerson doing it as well, too. And then we get into, a lot of these kind of classic, I view them as like nostalgic episodes at this point, like the Shane stuff in season 2. It's very nostalgic for me to watch now, even though it was 2011, 2012. It's kind of in the category for me as some of those, series I grew up with or series that I would watch like 20 years ago. It has that same kind of nostalgic feel to me now, probably because it's just such a fantastic show and it's gotten to such a different level than it was at in season 2 with a smaller group of survivors, less locations, less money being put into it, I suppose, and just the level of the show's gotten totally different from there. So did like the second season as well, too. By the time it ended, it was pretty much becoming my favorite series at this point. I really started making a lot of videos. I did videos in the first season, reviews and all that, but when we got into the second season, I started doing prediction videos and things like that, and that's when I really got into it a little bit more, because I felt like, this series, if it keeps going, it's going to be one of the best series that's ever been made. And then the third season, I feel like, for me as a fan anyway, in terms of like favorites, this is right around the time when it did become my favorite series ever. You get into the third season, they go for 16 episodes, which is a lot to do with this kind of series. You could do it with a Bones or a crime drama series because everything's episodic. One episode doesn't matter to the other. You just have these different, just cyclical types of stories. But with The Walking Dead, it's something totally different. You have different locations. They're big. You have, of course, the zombies, which are always a threat. You have different groups of survivors. You have the story changing. You have different cast and crew being involved, people being killed off, people sometimes, surviving longer than originally they're supposed to, and some are still alive to this point. So episodes 20 through 35, action-packed all the way through. Glenn Mazzara's last season in the show was a little bit chaotic, I want to say, if you take a look back at it, with the second half and some of the stuff that happened there and was publicized about the show that I've read. That they kind of had some trouble with scripts and what they were going to do. They weren't sure. Andrea's actress has talked about how she got like a call right before the finale, like, oh yeah, we are going to kill you off. We weren't sure, but yeah, we're going to do it. And then they just did. It's like last minute. We could try to pretend like this was all masterfully, crafted and everything. I think it kind of turned out masterful when you look at the series all the way through, but clearly if you hear the behind-the-scenes details of the first few seasons, it was shaky at best, I think. So that's up to the third season, very action-oriented. Then we get Scott Gimple takes over for season 4 as a showrunner, but he was also writing a lot of the episodes in prior seasons too, and some of the best episodes. Like he wrote Clear, he wrote This Sorrowful Life, he wrote... let's see, Pretty Much Dead Already, and Save the Last One. So, he did 18 Miles Out. He did some of the best stuff in the series already, but now he's basically taking over as showrunner. And we get to see the 4th season, which, after the 3rd season's crazy action and just insanity, I felt like the 4th season was a little bit dry, because you just had so many character deaths and so much craziness happening in the 3rd season, which is probably not good long-term, but short-term it was a lot of fun to see it at the time. Season 4 getting us settled into probably a pace that's more... makes more sense that they're going to be able to sustain the show with that kind of pacing. So we go through the first half. We go from episodes 36 until, first half would be 43, but then 44 to 51. So we go from 36 to 51. So now we're basically getting to the halfway point by the end of this season for the series and where the series has gotten to. So did like the 4th season a lot. Really enjoyed the stuff with the governor. Thought that was great. And then the second half with a couple mini little storylines and things happening. The start of Terminus and the Claimers was pretty cool. So some really exciting stuff there, and also uncharted territory. Maybe a season in season 4 that has kind of maybe the most add-ins of any season. I'm trying to think if there's any other seasons that have as much, but I think it might have been necessary for them to get the story back on track after how crazy the 3rd season was, and almost having the governor's story arc end after just one season of a show. Pretty nuts. Season 5, so we go from episodes 52 to 67. Great season, man. For a lot of people, I still get comments that season 5 is their favorite season. I've still got, the season 5 Rick at the front. Really super badass season. Really love it a lot. The stuff with him and, running over Bob and shit. It's pretty awesome. Just kind of thinking of like how much he's changed. Like here he is running over a cop now. He's a cop and now he's running over a cop and executing him and stuff. Pretty brutal stuff. No Sanctuary with Carol being super badass. The Terminus stuff, all that going through. Awesome stuff. The death of Beth and Coda. Oops, spoiler warning. And then, finishing off the season with the start of Alexandria, which again changes the series again. So there's certainly a lot of change throughout this series compared to a lot of series that are mostly the same and minor changes. The Walking Dead has major overhauls season to season with locations, characters and everything, which keeps it fresh, I think. Season 6, my personal favorite season. Really love this season a lot. Episodes 68 through 83. Just really love this first half, biggest zombie herd ever. Something probably more epic than more epic than any zombie movie I've ever seen, I want to say. Just incredible, the amount of zombies. And, just getting to see the first half. JSS, first time again. Thank you with the stuff with Glenn. Always accountable, heads up, start to finish. Then we come back. Episode 76 is No Way Out, of course, my all-time favorite episode of Walking Dead. And we go through the rest of the season with the start of Negan and the Saviors. Just kind of getting acquainted, getting this idea about who Negan and the Saviors might be, and then the finale actually meeting Negan in episode 83. Then we go season 7, so we go from 84 to 99. So we go from The Day Will Come When You Won't Be, a big shift in the series, a huge shift with Negan coming in and blasting a couple of our OG members out of the show, really crazy stuff. The build to the new story with all the different communities, the stuff that's going on with Rick and finding out basically with the mid-season finale and Heart Still Beating, as well as Sing Me a Song 2, that this being under Negan thing is not going to work. He's not going to be able to keep everybody alive and protect his people with Negan there. He's kind of like a tyrant, I suppose, or somebody who, because he's there, Rick and the others will never truly be safe. So they're going to have to take a chance, and they start to work towards that. Second half, we get to see a lot of that. Some add-ins here, Rockin' the Road, New Best Friends, Hostiles and Calamities, Say Yes, Bury Me Here, and then we get The Other Side. something they need, and the first day of the rest of your life. Season 6's finale was Last Day on Earth. So those titles, for some reason, to me, are kind of somewhat similar. And that leaves us off at episode 99, where we're at right now, getting into the 8th season. So a lot of setup in season 7 for All Out War, really getting us ready to see this, the start of All Out War and the finale for season 7. And, man, just my all-time favorite television series for sure. Huge fan myself. I know you guys are huge fans of it. Some people ask me, Trev, why do you make so many Walking Dead videos? Because it's easy. It's easy for me to do it. It's just like whatever. I just love talking about it with you guys. I mean, I could talk about it all the time. It's my favorite series ever. And sometimes, even to the point when I'm doing my reviews and that, I forget that it is a TV series because, I do reviews for a lot of other series as well, too. And a lot of times with Walking Dead, I feel like the bar is set higher than a lot of other shows. Most other shows, if you watch a lot of 1-hour block, 42-minute episodes of other series, there isn't a lot of change throughout the seasons. A lot of those don't last 7 or 8 seasons and keep going strong. So I think, we should, as a fan base, be pretty appreciative of what they've done with The Walking Dead. Even if there are certain seasons where, a lot of people might not like it, a lot of the fan base might not be that big a fan of a lot of the setup in season 7 or whatever happens throughout. I mean, the reality is it is just a TV show, right? And if you compare it to most other TV series out there, for me anyway, as a fan, most other series just don't do it in the same way The Walking Dead does for me. The characters, the environment, the world, the universe it's set in, the way it reinvents itself all the time, the way it changes things up. Man, it's just absolutely incredible. So going to episode 100. So very excited to hear that they want to, keep right on going and hopefully eventually get to 200. I love that they're still doing the 16 episodes a season. Yes, they could probably do less and maybe the quality would be a bit better. They could cut some things. But to be honest with you, I'm happy to get it. If they have extended episodes, if they do 16 with some extensions and that, I'd rather get too much than not enough. That's what I'm really saying. I'd rather get more than less than I want. And I feel like they're giving us as much as they possibly can. And this really is one of the best TV series ever. For me, it's my favorite TV series ever. I don't think any other TV series will I ever enjoy as much as I've enjoyed The Walking Dead already. And hopefully I'm going to continue to enjoy it in the future. I don't think they'll let us down. It's always going to be what it is, though. You're always going to have your zombies. You're going to have maybe zombie herds being led in different directions. You're going to have your drama. You're going to have your villains and your heroes, of course, as well, too. It is what it is. They can reinvent it to a degree. They can't totally, shatter the whole thing and change it completely and have it still work. So it's still set in that universe. And let's just hope that, they continue on strong, they keep going, and, we get lots of more seasons to come. That'll be it for this kind of my thoughts or recap, so to speak, on the episode numbers for the series. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, leave a comment below. What was the hottest time in the series for you? Like, what was the peak for Walking Dead for you? Because I think for everybody it's different. There's still some people, the peak was season 2 with Shane and that stuff. So write your comments below. Let me know what you guys think. What was the absolute peak period for The Walking Dead and how excited you are for season 8. Leave those comments below. If you like this video, please thumb it up below. You can also share and favorite. And if you're new and you want to subscribe to the channel, I'd appreciate it. You can subscribe at the bottom left. I'll see you guys soon for those other couple of videos. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.